This video is sponsored by Surfshark.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, it's been about 8 weeks since we did anything on the Porsche Boxster. The last modification we did was the 997 front end conversion. Now, that still needs a little bit of fettling to make it 100% perfect. I know that. I'm going to probably cover that in a later video. But in today's video, because we haven't done anything on the Boxster for 8 weeks and it's feeling a little bit neglected, we're going to give it a modification. So let's get on and get it done. That's right, we're fitting Coilovers to the Boxster. And what are we fitting? Yes, that's correct. Yet again, yellow speed racing coilover kit. Okay, so let's get on, let's get the car in the air, and let's get the old suspension off. So with the car up in the air, we then removed the front wings, giving us better access to the front suspension. So with the wings off, we then tackle the driver's side suspension, removing the steering rack arm first, the ABS sensor, and then the drop link. With these off, there's only one thing to do, and that's undo the top mounts and pull the strut out. You can see this needed a little bit of persuasion, so the rubber mallet came out. With the driver's side done, we move on to the passenger side. Okay, so these, again, same as the other side, they're really, really tight, and it's probably because it's been sat outside since 2019. A little bit more of fast release on here and see whether or not this will help. So the fast release sort of helped. We managed to get the steering rack arm off, but the drop link, well, that's a different matter. Okay guys, so we've got a bit of an issue. This drop link will not come out, so I can't get this strut off. So what I've done is I've literally soaked it in release agent, see if I can get it off. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do, to be honest. I think I might have to grind it off here and see if I can get a socket on that side and see if I can use the impactor to release it. I've just cut the end of the drop link bolt that goes through the hub. Gonna get a 16mm impact socket and the impact gun on here and see if we can loosen it. I ain't got no money the first week of the month. Right up into orbit, my chicks the all bound. A lanyard thinks a problem, a brain being no. So this little thing, you see how corroded that is? That was literally stuck inside the hub, and because this is steel, and aluminium and steel, when they get together, they don't rust together, but the aluminium breaks down into like a powder, so it corrodes against the steel, and they kind of lock in place. But yeah, that means we can undo the top of the strut and we can pull this out the way. Again, same as the driver's side, this needs a little persuasion as well. So there we are, both front struts are now off. The passenger side, absolute nightmare. It's exactly what I've come to expect with this car. Now we can get on, set the shocks up, fit the fronts, and then get on and do the backs. Okay, so the new yellow speed front shocks all set up and ready to go on the car. So yeah, let's get them on. We simply do everything in reverse when we put the coilovers on that we did when we took the old shocks off. So there we are guys, fitting the driver's side coilover, really straightforward. Now it's time to get on, get the passenger side one fitted, and then we can move on to the backs. Let's get on with it. So there we are guys, the front coilovers are now fitted. I do need to put a passenger side drop link on because obviously I had to destroy the old one to get it out, but we can do that later. So on the rears it's going to be quite simple, I think, and straightforward. It's going to be the 3 top mount bolts, the drop link and this lower rear arm, and I'm pretty sure I'll have the movement to push down the hub, pop the shock out. So it should be fairly straightforward. What we're waiting for, let's get on, get it done. Okay guys, so we've run into a bit of a problem. I can't get this rear arm off. The Torx bit snapped off in it when I was trying to use the spanner and the Torx to undo it. It's obviously, for some reason, just doesn't want to come off. The only option I've got is to drop this arm off at the back here, if I can get it off, which will then enable me to move the shock even further down, or the whole unit down. But yeah, so I'm going to try that first, see if I can get it off this way. Hopefully I can get this drop link out. It's a little bit seized. Hopefully it'll come straight out and we can get it off. Let's get on. So no surprise, this drop link won't come out of the hub either. Fast forward 20 minutes later and I've had to do the same on this rear drop link bolt. I've had to saw it off. Good job I've got some new rears as well to get this out. It's so frustrating. This is simply because it's a steel bolt into an aluminium casting and it just binds on it. So now I should be able to just get it out. No surprise, with the power of the impact gun we managed to get the drop link bolt out. And then also remove the drive shaft, because maybe it's a good idea to get this out of the way, make it easier for me to get the hub off. And then remove the trailing arm from the lower arm. So remove the rear upper arm. Then the lower arm. Both of these arms have camber bolts, so when we put the suspension back together, we will need to take the car down to centre gravity to get the tracking all sorted. Okay, so the lower arms are off the chassis and the trailing arm that comes from the chassis to the lower arm on the suspension is undone, as you've just seen. Theoretically, it's one 13mm nut that I've left on the top here, and then this unit should fall. So I've got a mat on the floor just in case it does just drop. I'm going to try and hold it and do it, but yeah, let's get it off. So there we are, guys. I've got this off. Now I just need to separate this strut from this hub, put this all back on, and then put the yellow speed coilover on. So again, with a bit of persuasion from the rubber mallet, we managed to get the old shock off. I then fit the rear coilover in place, making it easier for me to fit the hub up to the shock rather than trying to fit the hub with the shock. When putting the hub back on, we simply just reverse the process we did when we took it off. So give it everything that you got, don't stop. Again, these camber bolts will need to be set correctly when the car is back on the road. So there we are, guys, the rear suspension on the driver's side is all done. We have the passenger side one to do, and we'll do that in a minute. But this is the perfect opportunity in the video to talk to you guys about today's sponsor. Now, when I'm out and about and I get that notification to say that my favourite YouTuber has posted the latest video, I instantly want to watch it. So I look for the closest free Wi-Fi access point I can get. But do you realise that public Wi-Fi is an absolute goldmine for hackers and data thieves? They connect to your device when you're on the public Wi-Fi and they can steal password, bank details, credit card details, basically everything about you. But you can combat this by having a VPN connection. Now, what is a VPN? It's a virtual private network. A virtual private network connects you to the internet securely, meaning that no one can see what you're browsing and no one can get to the devices you're browsing the internet on. So here's another really cool feature of Surfshark. So I'm on my Netflix account. Now I want to watch the new Operation Mincemeat film, but unfortunately it's not available in the UK. Now with Surfshark, that's not a problem. I simply switch my location to, say, Canada. I then refresh my browser, research for Operation Mincemeat, and there you are, it's available for me to watch. So if you want to make sure that you're secure when you're connected to public Wi-Fi, why not click the link in the description below and go and get yourself a Surfshark VPN. Get 82% off plus 2 months free. So we've got the front suspension all done, we've got the driver's rear done, there's only one side to do, and that's the passenger side. Let's get on and get this job finished.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away. Our bodies move to the groove and the light that flickers. We get lost in the crowd, it's getting thicker.
So no surprise, the drop link is stuck inside the hub. So as we did before, we hacksaw the end off, get the impact gun on it to get it out. And as before, a little bit of brute force and the shock comes out the hub. So there we are, guys, exactly the same problem on the passenger rear that we had on the front passenger and the driver's rear. That drop link seized inside the aluminium hub, but we got it out, exactly the same process. Hacksaw the end off, impact gun on it, bit of release agent, and it comes straight off. Let's get this back on the car with the new strut. So the same as what we did on the passenger side, we fit the coilover, we then refit the hub, and then reverse the process we did to take it off. So there we are, guys, the passenger rear coilover is now on. So now all four corners of the Porsche Boxster have the yellow speed racing coilovers fitted. I am waiting for the drop links to come for the front. I thought I'd got a set of 4, but I only got a set of 2. So I've had to order some more. So now there's only one thing to do, and let's see what it looked like on the floor. So the Porsche is back down on the ground, and to be honest with you, there's not much difference in the suspension in terms of the height. Now, I do know the rears are sitting high, obviously because there is no engine in the car still, so that weight of the engine and the gearbox is obviously making the car sit high. So again, I can't judge that until I've got the engine and box back in. The fronts, well, I think it's a little lower. This side seems to be sitting a bit higher here. Obviously, I don't know, hopefully it's not the wings, because these are quite cheap. It's a cheap kit, really, for the 997 conversion. Obviously, I'll put that back on to give you perspective of what the car looks like. But this side, if you come around to the driver's side, seems to be a little bit lower. It might just be me, I don't know. But overall, that is a job that we can tick off the box now. Like I say, the car will have to go to centre gravity to get it set up properly. The alignment is going to be all over the place. With me taking the camber bolts out the rear, and I have no idea how I've set it back up, so it's going to drive like a crab, I imagine. So there we are, guys. The Porsche has new suspension. It was a bit of a mission because of those drop links being seized in the hub, but we got there, and it's another job we can tick off the list. Yes, it's not going to give the full benefit until we've got the engine in, until it's set up properly, and until we've got a decent set of wheels on the car either. But there you are. So thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget, smash that subscribe button, turn the notifications on so you know when the next videos are dropping, give me a thumbs up, and comment in the comment section below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. If you want to make sure that you're secure,